begin with, I would say that reading has now become quite inevitable or irreplaceable part of your life, right?
Yes, correct.
So, would like to ask you, was it a part of your discipline at a point of time? Like, was it ever made hard and fast for you to read? Have you
Hmm.
forcefully read something?
No, I think I never forced myself. More than discipline, uh, I think it's about tremendous amount of curiosity. When you have tremendous amount of curiosity to get new information, to learn some new piece of knowledge. Yeah, I think this comes from why I did not feel like I'm forcing myself to read books. I think the foundation stems from my childhood, where luckily my family, especially my elder brother, he always encouraged me to learn the things, not to get marks, so that learning in itself becomes an intrinsic reward, and external rewards like marks and rank and grades don't find are not so attractive. The problem is that the moment the external reward system comes in, you stop enjoying the process of learning, because now you're learning for the marks or the fear of failing. So this, reward punishment system, both are wrong, I guess. It hampers. We think that we get motivated to study, but we are not motivated to study or learn. We are motivated to get marks. Like when a mother says to her child that आधा घंटा पढ़ाई करो, फिर तुमको मैं कार्टून नेटवर्क देखने दूंगी. When she's saying this, she's not motivating the child to do the homework. She's motivating the child to win the reward of Cartoon Network. And then that study is now just a chore. कि कुछ भी करके आधा घंटा खत्म करना है. Getting a point. So that reward
Yeah.
backfires. It shuns your intrinsic motivation to enjoy learning, to enjoy to read. So luckily, my brother always said, forget about marks. Don't care about marks. We'll never scold you if you get less marks. Just forget, just enjoy. Know what are you going to learn something new from this chapter? And then it is examination is an opportunity to express yourself. It is a medium of expression, which I think by far the biggest source of happiness. If your work, your exam, your art becomes a medium of expression, there can't be anything more satisfactory than them. A booklet is a medium of expression for me, right? You guys listen to me. Right now, I'm expressing myself. So when your work becomes a medium of expression, you're the most satisfied person in this world. So does with exams, right? And so for me, non-academic reading and academic reading was not different. I don't see anything different now, because okay, there are no exams for non-academic books, but there are no exams for my academic books as well. I was just reading to enjoy and to express the same author's concept in my own personal vocabulary. That was very fascinating. Right? So I think this approach will help you. Then there is no distinction between academic reading, non-academic reading. There is no forceful reading. Right? It's just about getting curious. Yeah, I get curious whenever I open a new book or open the door of the fridge.
That's truly great, sir. So you have like never read something forcefully. You have just it just came out of your interest and curiosity, right?
Yeah, but I mean, after starting to read, if I find a book very boring, after 5-10 pages, I get this realization that no, the author is not so great, or I'm not getting to learn something new, nothing exciting. I might quit the book. I'll not force myself to read the remaining pages. I'll just quit the book and switch to the next book.
Okay, so while the switching process, have you ever maintained a TBR list? Like, I
Um,
want to read this book.
Not really. I never has such. I have a wish list, but the wish list is not written. It's so random. I mean, for example, one book I discovered when I had a big argument with my father, and then I regretted. And I thought, is there any book on this topic called argument? Are arguments good or bad? What is the meaning of argument? And I found a book. Now, yesterday, there was another book called Good Arguments. So I realized that there is something called good argument. It's not an oxymoron. Argument doesn't mean fight. We have given this wrong connotation of every argument has to be a fight. No. Right. So see, we have overrated Google a lot. I'm not saying we should not Google to find new books, you find new information, but us chakkar mein, we are underestimating the things that are happening around us in the physical world, like the thing that happened with my father. Yeah, instead of ignoring that, we'll go to Google and search new topics. No, what are things happening to you? Right? And then one incident that happened with me was I wanted a recipe of some sprout recipe, and I just went to YouTube and searched high protein sprout recipe, and I got it. And then I realized that there is an auntie who is an amazing cook, and she believes in healthy eating. I could have just picked the phone and called her or visited her in my neighborhood and asked for a recipe. Now you might ask, what's the big difference? There's a lot of difference. So Google is a non-person, right? I'm not interacting to any human being. Now, had I called her or met her in her house and asked for help, I had given her an opportunity to help me, right? Which would have given her a good, great sense of satisfaction that I helped Booklet guy who lives in my neighborhood, right? And through that interaction, something must have happened. Maybe her son would have talked to me that I'm struggling with this book. Can you help me? Whatever. Something must have happened. The ball would have started rolling. But all those probable possibilities were drained down. I just went to YouTube and So I think we are doing these things where we are searching a lot on Google, YouTube, and forget that there are human beings around us with whom we can interact, talk, and get the same solution.